Every AI tool in recruiting right now is connecting to your ATS through an MCP connector, your job titles, your status fields, your notes. But 91% of that context that your recruiters know about those candidates is not translating back into your source of truth in any usable way. That detail that the candidate is sharing typically lives on your phone calls. And right now, there's no way for AI to touch it. What we see, looking at tens of thousands of conversations that our customers are having on a daily basis, is that almost none of that context actually ends up into your ATS in a meaningful way today, right? It's too slow, it's too manual, it's too easy to skip, or even when it's going in, it says, good candidate, good conversation, which we obviously cannot use in the future. So when you're connecting your favorite MCP connector through ChatGPT, Claude, or whatever tool that you're using, there's maybe 9% of the data that it can use. Looking at our actual customer data today, and again, of the tens of thousands of calls that we process on a daily basis, what we're seeing currently is that 5% of conversations happen over video calls. So an AI Notetaker can actually join that call. 4% happen in in-person meetings. But what about the other 91%? And again, this is over our thousands of customers that we work with today. Those happen over phone calls, and majorly using your personal cell phone is what we're seeing. Next, it's VoIP systems, obviously, that we integrate with and whatnot as well. So when we actually look at the data here, it's very clear to understand why this is flawed logic that connecting your favorite LLM tool to your database is going to make that big of a difference, because it's really not solving the problem at the end of the day, which is how are we putting that valuable context where we can actually put it to work. And I think the bullhorn, job adder, insert your favorite ATS here stat proves that. And what they're finding today is that 70% of candidates that we are placing are actually sourced externally to our database. So that's things like job boards, Sourcewell, ZoomInfo, any external sourcing placements there. But what they find is that 66% of those externally sourced and placed candidates already lived inside of your ATS, but were not able to be found. Because again, we know we are not putting that valuable context that's needed back into our database, or we're trying to use a note taker that joins your video calls to plug that gap, when that's not where this valuable context is being triggered, right? It's on the road, on your phone, talking to these candidates as well. And right now that's slipping through the cracks. So MCP connectors are a massive development, especially when we're thinking about this from an ATS or CRM platform perspective as well, right? Giving your favorite tools and easiest to use tools access to that context makes it so much more efficient for you to find the information you need, put it into an easy to digest format, and actually make business decisions from there. So it's incredibly and genuinely useful for pipeline visibility, reporting, answering operational questions. Structured database records aren't where recruiting intelligence lives. That's where conversations happen, right? Like conversations are what's going to be driving this for us. And so when we're missing this key angle, we're again getting limited data that we can actually use these incredibly powerful tools with. So that's really where CoRecruit comes into play here, because we have the ability that we can capture these conversations across any channel that you are looking to use, whether that's video calls, in-person meetings, botless experiences, using your personal cell phone, purchasing or porting a VoIP number over to our platform. It makes every conversationable, queryable data, right? So we can actually action this information. And this MCP connector means that your favorite LLM can now reach that layer and understand who's asking the right candidate for this role and getting the answers from that actually build conversations, intelligence, usable data, not just a field that somebody fills in. So when we're thinking about this from even a different lens, you've just connected your favorite LLM to your database and you're querying that data. Ask yourself, do you trust the information that is currently in there that you can use it in an effective manner when you're asking it, who's the best CFO for this role that I'm trying to fill? Or do you know in the back of your mind that it is broken data that is being entered in there? Versus through a platform like a CoRecruit, we help capture all that information in the exact channels that your team is using, format that context So you can actually track and see the exact details that you want back in that profile. So when you enter that same query, Claude, ChatGPT, whatever you're using today, has that first party context that is automatically added in a format that you're dictating across the entire team and standardizing to make it incredibly easy to find those valuable pieces of insight. So next time you're searching for your favorite CFO role that somebody on your team had a conversation with 4 months ago from their phone, you can actually rely on the fact that this information is getting back into your database and now it can actually be usable. So in order to get the most out of your ATS and your AI strategy, making sure that the placements, the relationships, the context is all there and it's all visible, click the link down below to try CoRecruit today.